I love music. It pumps me up, it helps me relax, and when I'm going through a breakup, it helps me just let it out. You wouldn't know it from my channel because YouTube doesn't let me play more than a few seconds of any given song without putting a bunch of nasty flags on my videos, but music is and has been a significant part of my life. Problem is, convenient though our phone's built-in speakers may be, their frequency response just isn't as wide, that is, the low pitches aren't as low and the high pitches aren't as high as on a proper speaker. So today, we're going to look at a few Bluetooth speakers from JBL. Since 2014, I've been using a JBL Charge 1. It still works, but it doesn't allow for lossless sound between phone and speaker. The audio has to be recompressed for Bluetooth transmission, reducing audio quality in the process. Additionally, the Charge 1 cannot be used in conjunction with other speakers for true stereo separation. I'm hoping the Charge 6 will address both of these shortcomings while eliminating as few features as possible. Speaking of things that sound good, the Quicksilver credit card from Capital One gives you 1.5% cash back on everything. I like to redeem my cash back as a statement credit before paying off the rest of my balance each month. It's like getting 1.5% off everything on top of any sales or other deals I may encounter. Sign up at my link in the description down below, and you could get a $200 bonus just for using my link. The JBL Charge 6 is IP68 waterproof. In this context, IP stands for Ingress Protection Code. The first numeral, 6, indicates that it is dustproof, and the second numeral, 8, indicates that it is safe to submerge this thing in at least 1 meter of water. You can bring this thing to the beach, and it'll live to tell the tale. First thing I noticed after pulling the Charge 6 out of its box was that it's larger than the Charge 1. The texture of the Charge 6 is more rubbery, whereas the Charge 1 feels hard. The Charge 6 has more buttons on top, whereas the Charge 1 combined multiple functions into a single button. The Charge 6 has a single Type-C port on the rear for charging itself and for charging other devices, whereas the Charge 1 had a micro USB port for charging itself and a full-sized USB port for charging other devices. But one of the most significant differences I noticed before powering it on was that the Charge 6 does not have an aux connector. In situations where Bluetooth is impractical or unfeasible, this speaker leaves you SOL. Speaking of Bluetooth, the Charge 6 supports Bluetooth version 5.3. In Bluetooth 5.2, changes were made to the Bluetooth standard which allow for higher quality audio at lower rates of battery consumption. 5.2 also added support for Auracast. Multiple Auracast compatible speakers can be linked together to play the same music at the same time, allowing for brand-agnostic whole-home audio at the touch of a button. Unlike JBL's Party Boost, a prior attempt at linking multiple speakers together, Auracast allows speakers from different manufacturers to be linked with one another. But enough of all this technical mumbo-jumbo. How does it sound compared to its predecessor? Well, let's find out.
Pray for peace, but I lead the trail. Saw you ringing, I jizzed in my path. Bruce Willis was dead at the end of Sixth Sense. I jizzed in my path.
Politicians or companies that seek to control what each of us may watch are far greater danger to America and our treasured freedom than any of our guests ever could or will be.
During these speaker tests, I noticed that the Charge 1 did not respond when I pressed the phone's volume up and down buttons. The only way to adjust the volume was on the speaker itself. By contrast, the Charge 6's volume level was in sync with that of the phone. Pressing the volume buttons on the Charge 6 adjusted the volume level on the phone, and pressing the volume buttons on the phone caused noticeable changes in the volume on the Charge 6. I also observed that the Charge 6 has moving speaker drivers on either side that sometimes wobble as the music plays. When I ordered the Charge 6, I also ordered the JBL Clip 5. I've had not so great experiences with smaller Bluetooth speakers before, namely Walmart's On Mini speaker, which I've covered in a previous video, but I've had good experiences with JBL. And it has a handy dandy built-in clip, so I figured I might as well give this one a try. Can it measure up to the likes of the Charge 1 or the Charge 6? Let's find out.
Look at my enormous penis.
If I'm gonna lug around an extra thing just for sound, I'd much rather it be the Charge 6. Bottom line, if you're in the market for a new Bluetooth speaker, I recommend the JBL Charge 6. The Charge 6's Auracast capabilities leave opportunity open for future expansion, and even though the Clip 3 is moderately better than my phone's built-in speaker, that one hardly seems worth the cost and space requirements. One thing I've noticed is that for each kind of speaker, the price of each new generation is a little bit more than the one that came before it. While JBL does tend to add features with each new generation, they also take features away. Do you think the features they add make up for the features they take away, as well as the increase in price? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, if you have a different brand, product line, or specific product you'd like me to review, let me know what it is in the comments and I'll consider updating my Amazon wish list accordingly so that I can eventually review it. And if you buy something from my Amazon wish list, make sure you include your social media handles in the note so I can give you a shout out. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.